Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, sorry, just playing around with this stuff to see if it works, and I can't figure it out, so this is going to leave now. Anyway, hope everybody's doing well. I just had 2 coffees, so this one's going to be water and a poem. Just finished having one while watching a little bit of news this morning. Hope everybody's staying home, keeping their distance, doing what they're supposed to do, and just making sure that we get through this sooner than later, as I think this is dragging out for a lot of people. Had a good time last night. Played bingo with the family again. It was good. I forget how many of us played. It was myself, my wife, my son, my sister, her husband and their kids, my brother, his girlfriend and all their kids. My parents were in there. It was good. It was nice to see people's faces, even if it is virtually. It's still, the connection is still there, and you can feel it. So even though you can't physically go and say, "Hey, Mom, how's it going?" This is the next best thing. It's the only thing really that we can do right now, aside from being reckless and careless, right? So we gotta do this. We gotta stick with it. Yeah, blame bingo. I can't believe that's what my life has come to now. Yeah, I played it years ago, but I was never a bingo goer. I always made fun of those people, and now I'm one. But like I said, it's good for the kids, good for the family, and it was just good distraction, positive distraction. Plus, I won. I won last week, and I won this week. So I spent $10, and I'm $160. So I'm up $50. It's a pretty good investment. Better than what my tax-free savings account is doing right now. That's another topic for another day. Aside from that, I've been trying to keep my son on... Trying to keep my son on track with schoolwork and things like that. That is quite challenging. I mean, for one, you got to kind of go and relearn it all yourself to try to figure out how to explain it or to make sure he's doing it right. And math is totally different than what it was when I was growing up, even just from a few years ago in university. So yeah, I'm struggling with that, but my biggest struggle is not even so much relearning the material so much, because it's there, I think, somewhere. It's just it needs to be retrieved somehow. But it's just just being organized, organizing myself so that way I can create a good schedule that has his courses, has the topics that need to be covered, and stick to it. Because most days I have very little, I don't know what the word is. It's not drive. It's different. It's like every single thing is an obstacle, and one little thing can throw me off. For example, if I wanted a coffee this morning, and this has actually happened, if my coffee is, I'm pointing that way because that's where my Keurig is, sorry. If I don't have the K-cup there, for example, I like to drink the dark roast from the Kirkland brand. And if there's no Kirkland brand there, I just won't have a coffee. My pods are in the basement, but no, it's not worth it. I can't go to the basement and do that. It's like it becomes a big, giant obstacle, a mountain. And it's frustrating because there's so many things that I'd probably like to be doing and wish I was doing, but there's too many obstacles in the way. So that's something we're working on anyway, persistent anyway. We're not giving up. We're giving at her. Because, I mean, learning is not stopping. I know their marks and that might be what they are from mid-March, but got to keep at it. Got to try to keep him on a schedule, because if not, he would be sleeping probably 13 hours a day and playing video games for the other 11. Is that right? 13 and 11 is 24. Yeah, math. Not sure how they would do it. I think there's probably like a 2-page sequence of steps that you got to go through to get to do that addition these days. It's crazy. It's hard to believe that Easter is just this weekend. I mean, where's time going? Even though we're stuck home and self-isolating, and time is still flying. It's not standing still. One thing we got to try to remember, though, is this weekend we got to really try hard to make sure that we stay apart, even though that's going to be challenging. I mean, we all want to be around each other, our families and that, especially for turkey dinner. But the sooner we get through this, and the sooner we keep doing all the things that we're supposed to be doing, the sooner we can actually physically get together, which is going to be great. I'm worried about motorcycle season. I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to ride my bike, because I'm somebody who's very anxious and paranoid and worried and all that stuff all the time, and I know, like, I understand the reasoning behind it, that they want people to stop joyriding, really. I mean, riding a motorcycle, I know it's therapy, but at the same time, going to the gym is therapy. And all these gym goers and fitness people had to go without their gym. So I guess in a way, me going without my motorcycle is almost like them going without their gym. I don't know if that makes sense, trying to compare the two that way. But yeah, because I've been looking forward to riding all winter long, and most of all riders are like that. And it is extremely therapeutic, and that worries me, actually. That's probably my biggest stressor over this whole thing right now, is not being able to, or potentially not being able to ride my motorcycle. And as I said, I understand it, because if people start getting out on the highways, right now you're limited. You're supposed to be only going out if you're going to go to the store or to get essentials, or you're going to work. And if all of a sudden the weather gets nice, and then everybody's like, yes, motorcycle season's here, let's go for a drive or a ride. And before you know it, the roads are packed with people, and the accidents are going to increase. I just read there was an accident on the Trans-Canada here in Newfoundland just this morning. And right away, you probably got at least one ambulance, a fire truck, a couple cop cars, I'm guessing, a tow truck. So there's a lot of resources going out to address that one accident. And those are resources that are being taken away from the healthcare. Like, somebody that might need ICU, say for a heart attack or whatever, some medical condition, now has to wait because somebody decided to go for a joyride. And that's where it goes. And you hear about the cabins and stuff like that too. And I understand it, because ultimately we are not very good at following directions. And I can guarantee if you go into the cabin and there's another cabin over 50 meters from you, you will be connected at some point. And so that's a risk. That's a risk that they're just trying to avoid, because they know that a lot of us are not responsible, and we just won't listen. We'll go out there, we'll say, I know Bob. I know him all my life. He doesn't have the coronavirus. But yet, who knows, maybe he went to the liquor store and picked up that case of beer behind someone who did have it. Right? You never know. You don't know. And that's what we got to keep remembering. And the sooner we listen to the advice, the sooner we'll be through it. I know I'm rambling on a lot. I know. Sorry. And that's why. How do I word this? Yeah, that's why we got to make the best of things, like using Facebook Messenger and stuff like that for family games and just chatting and communicating. Anyway, I'm going to go on and get into my poem, because that's the whole point of my sessions. It's not supposed to be so much a lecture and a discussion as it is supposed to be a poem and a coffee. So anyway, this poem is called Splinters. I wrote this on April 30th in 2017. And this one is about depression. It's about PTSD. It's about anxiety. It's also about that feeling of hopelessness and that underlying desire to be dead, basically. Wishing you're dead all the time, wanting to die. I mean, that's one of the common things about having PTSD and depression and stuff like that. You think about suicide a lot. And the thing, people got to stop being scared about you talking about it, because just because you want to kill yourself doesn't mean you're going to kill yourself. You just want this shit to stop. You want to be able to just relax in peace, enjoy sitting on the patio while the neighbors are out there having a conversation without getting pissed off because their conversation is disrupting your peace and quiet. So yeah, it's dark, it's deep, and it's basically about trying to escape the pain and the darkness that lingers around daily. So here is Splinters. Shards of glass have blinded my eyes, splinters in flesh, embedded deep, tears drowning in a sea of red, blood descending, reddened cheeks. In darkened madness, I scream aloud, saliva and blood forming a mist, trembling hands outstretched beyond, nothing to grasp in this dark abyss. Hopelessness and terror clasp onto my soul as the anger within mutates to fear. Fear of that which I yearn. With horror, I watch it near. An eternal darkness, free from pain. Sadness, sorrow reaped away. Lifelessness, an end to all ends. Relinquished from turmoil to dismay. Amidst the blackness resides a trace of peace. Therein tranquility lies. Broken shackles, coiled up chains, gleefully embracing demise. The end is sought, termination of pain, a sanctuary from these shards of glass. Every single splinter, a justice of death. Welcome to my impasse. So there you have it. Yeah, it's a little sad and dark, and unfortunately an expression of my emotions at that time. Anyway, regardless how bad things are right now, we are very lucky to be living in these times. You might not see it, but we are. And I mean, all you gotta do is look around, right? I mean, I'm chatting right now, having a sip of water here in St. John's, and who knows where you are right now watching this. Probably the only person that checks this out is my mom, so Fox Cove. So, I mean, we have a great healthcare system. Yeah, of course, it has some faults. I mean, everything does. Everybody does. Of course it does. But look at how well our healthcare system is performing right now and how much they're stepping up to the plate and how hard our frontline workers are working right now to keep us safe and keep us healthy and to make sure that this doesn't get out of control. The only thing we got to do is just listen to the advice. We're surrounded by great people. I mean, most times you go around your neighborhood, everybody's there to help each other. You may not realize it at the time, but when the time comes and the need is there, people step up. And I know it's hard not to dwell on those who are selfish and greedy and that kind of thing. But that's it. I mean, those people are there and they're going to be there forever. They've always been there. So you got to kind of try to focus on the positive now as much as possible. And I'm probably a hypocrite when it comes to that. I know what I need to do, what I should do, but I just, how do you do it, right? When you're sucked into all these negative stories and news feeds and stuff like that. So anyway, that's enough lecturing and discussion, because like I said, I ramble and my thoughts are usually not the most coherent. It takes me forever to get my thoughts out, and when they do, it usually comes out as a big mumbled mess, and I forget what I'm supposed to be talking about and then get panicky and just shut it all off, close the book, gone, done. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll be back again tomorrow. I'll share another poem. I'm going to try not to ramble on as much and not lecture as much. Not even lecture, I guess. It's just sharing my thoughts, really. It's up to you how you interpret it, as a lecture or just my thoughts. Anyway, I'd take it as my thoughts because I am not a professional. I didn't study Anyway, I'm gonna go, because as you can see, I'm rambling and I don't know what I'm talking about. Have an awesome day, folks.